us going to Django documentation, we can say Django templates and static file. So let's see if we can have that. Okay, here we have Django templates inside Django directory. So these are statics. So these are static file. So these are static file. How to connect static file. Let's look at templates. If they are showing us how to connect templates. We are not seeing templates here. We're only seeing static. So let's remove this and try to see templates. So the reason why I'm doing this is because so that in case you're a bit okay, we are not seeing that template. Okay, let's see. Convert templates. Then so what we are seeing here is template syntax, which we have not. We are not seeing the template syntax. But however, okay, we are seeing it. We are seeing it. So we can here you can look at template engine are configured using all the templates. So it said it is a list of configurations, one for each engine. The default value is empty. So you can see what we have in our Django here. Let's scroll down a little and see what's happening. Then you can see that here is that define a list of directories where the engine should look for template source file, right? So this is where you want, if you want to use a customized template, you want Django to look for template in your directory, anywhere around your directory. So you use you pass in the directory here, which we are going to learn how to do. Then we have app directories. Tell whether the engine should look for template inside install app folders, right? So in that install what? Install application. So this will check where to get the Django template for inside the install application. So where do you have the inside? Where do you have the install application? So when you come here, you come to setting, you scroll up a little bit, you see where we have install what application. So the template app equals to true means that the Django will going to look our template inside what our template folder inside the install app, right? While the second one is going to get it on a specific location, right? Where is it trying to get it? So it's going to get it on a specific what location. So let's go up. I like Google working with templates. So whether uncommon is possible to configure several instances of some backend difference option in case. So what we are going to look at now is how we can connect our templates, right? You can go and read more about all this. If you want to use the directory, so you now pass the path for where to get that template. You can use different lists of list of template, list of folder you want the Django to get your template for. So apparently that is all. Then we also have which we are going to be looking at the context. So we will look about context and we look about request, right? So request, when you are passing template, you use the template name, then you pass in, you have a context. So context is used for rendering information dynamically from your Django. So we have requests. So when you scroll down a little bit here, you see this one use render for string. Okay, let's scroll down a little bit and see if we can have that again. So apparently that is all. You can take your time and go through this. It's very simple and you learn from there. All right, let's quickly jump into writing the code. Now, what do we want to do? Now, this is what we want to do. What we want to do is that this particular page, we are not getting this thing from HTML. So we want to learn how we can link our Django HTML, right? Our normal HTML to Django to communicate to Django directly. That's what we are doing. We'll do that in the view. So we come to the view. here. Come to the view here. Go to, let me get rid of this. So the first thing to do is that this is like our home page of our website. That's why when you come to when you come to the Django index, you are going to see this. So we are going to replace this. Instead of using response HTTPS, we are going to replace it using what our normal Django template, which is our HTML. To do that quickly, I need to get rid of this. I don't need this again. So we also leave the request. So we come here, we are going to pass in return. Now we use this which we call render. So render is used to render something, render our HTML, right? So when you pass render, you open, because it's a function. So inside here, we're going to pass in request. And whenever you're passing something inside the browser, you know that, okay, user need to send a request for you to get it. So we're passing what? The request as well instructed by Django. So you can explore Django documentation here and be able to get that. All of that. So I'm trying to see if we can have that. So like what we have here, what is that? Okay, you can see also use render shortcut, which is called render stream. This is, you can, I don't advise you to use this, but use what? Render, which is a shortcut of this, right? So when you use that render, they have a request. So we are also going to use this later, but let's use what? The request. So we need to pass in what? The request on our Django rendering. So passing what? Request. So inside this request now, we are going to pass in the part where Django will get the template from, right? Now, the first thing we are going to do is that we are going to use this particular approach. Let's go down to Django. So we are going to use this, not this approach. We are going to use this approach. So here now, you say tell whether the engine should look for template inside the installed app. So we are going to want the Django to look for our HTML template file inside the what? The install app. Then later we can come to this, right? So this is what we want to do. Then later we can come to this. So next we are going to do is to go to our here, and then we're going to pass in, look at our app here. So this is our app, right? Based on what Django said, this is our app. So we are going to create a folder called template. Now you need to create the exact name, because what they told us here on the documentary is that when this man is true, that Django going to look for templates, right? Template X inside the folder. So we're going to create a folder called template. So when you create a folder called template, the Django will now go inside the install app, look for the program, look for the app name, and then inside the app name, it's going to look for the what? A template. Now let me explain what is happening here. Let's say in our installed app, we have an app called cohorts, right? So Django, if you are using the app approach equals to true, Django will come to the app, and then inside the app, it will look for a folder called templates, right? We'll look for that folder, then it can now render whatever that is inside that folder based on what you have. So what we are going to do here is that we come here, and then let's create a folder called templates. Let it be S, right? Then inside this place, I can then put any file I want. So if you are building, let's say you are building different view about us, home, you can create folder inside this template. So what I will do now is that I will come here and create another folder. I can say home. So this folder will get my HTML home. Then inside I will now create index.html. So let's click and review what we have. So you can see what we have here. So inside this app, which is called cohort, so inside this app we have a template. So Django will now look inside the template, inside this template, and render whatever that we have here, index, right? So that's what this particular approach is talking about. So this is the approach that we are using. Then what we are going to do now is that we go to our view, our Django view, which is this place. Then what we are going to do is to pass in, because we're inside this app already now. This is the app already. So we pass in home slash index.html. So you don't need to pass in you don't .html. You don't need to pass in this template because Django knows that wherever you look for this is a folder called templates. Are we communicating? So now what we are going to do, we don't need to modify anything. Then let's go to our view and see what's happening. So in our view, we have this. So what this part is talking about is that when it comes to this app, it will automatically display this page the way you have index.html. So let's say this page is an index.html, it will display whatever that is here. So let's go back to our app and then we enter. Now when we enter, we are having an error called template does not what exist. Now it means that Django is not seeing our template, right? Are you communicating? Yeah? Hello, can you guys hear me? Now Django is not seeing our
Yeah,
template.
with you, sir. With you,
All
sir.
right. Django is not seeing our template. So let's go back to that documentation. That's the problem. So he said that this particular one tells whether the Django should look for template inside our installed app. So we need to register our app for it to work inside the install app. So that inside install app, if you register our app, what's actually going to happen is that Django will now come inside this install app and look for templates so they can render our engine, our HTML, right? So let's go back there. So go back here and go back to setting. Remember, I told you that any app you created, you must register it. If you don't register it, the app is just independent on its own. For you to be able to connect this man, right, with Django setting, you need to register the app. Now, if I come here and register an app like list, right, then immediately I register an app, I will have an error. What error will I have? No module name list. It means that Django is telling me there is no application app created that is called what list. And sometimes when you install Django package, they will, when you read through the documentation, they will suggest that you need to. I'm in a class. When I'm done, I'll call you a bit. Yeah, thank you. Now you need to register that application. So when we register our app, is that the app that we already have in Django, installed in Django or created in Django? So our app folder name is called cohorts. So we come here and type cohorts, right? Cohorts. So when you type this cohort, Django have registered our app. Now, what is actually going to happen in our template is that, congratulations, my baby, congratulations. My regards to them. All right. Congratulations once again. All right. So now what Django going to happen here is that Django will now come, if you are using this approach, so this approach we are using, right? Django will now come here and look for app that have template cohorts, and then inside that cohort you now come inside this place and look for what templates and then display whatever that is there. So let's go back there and see what's going to happen. So let's reload again and see. Now immediately we reload, you notice that we are not seeing anything. What we are seeing is just a blank template, right? So let's go back to that template. So that means it is working. So here this is my HTML template. I will just come here and say HTML. Let me change the HTML. Then, so what after I've done that, yeah, I'll say welcome to cohort listing app, right? So here I will come this one. Welcome to cohort listing application, right? Then I come down to my, sorry. Okay, let me reload. Notice that we have what? Welcome to my to what? To cohort listing application. Now we'll be able to communicate uh, from uh, our Django view. What is that view? Let me go this. Remove this. Remove this. All right. So we're able to communicate from our Django view to our template. Now remember what we are using here is an app what? App approach, right? We are using an app approach to be able to connect our Django to our HTML, right? Now we have done it. There are a lot of things we are going to do in Django application, which we'll start blending that. Go back to the previous app that we built, right? And that previous app that we built, if you come here and type cohort 2, you'll say, okay, this is cohort 2, right? Let's also go and see how we can send the same, convert every other one to the template and see how we can get this dynamically using our template. So we come back here and when you scroll down on this particular template, so here we have the list of cohorts. So this is called the dynamic approach. So in this dynamic approach, we are allowing the user to type in anything by themselves, right? And then with those information, it can display if this name is equals to this. So to see how we can render this information to our template. So we can this particular one here that you say enter enter is not the code entered is not in our database. So we'll see how we can render this template. The first thing we're going to do here is that this will be a template stuff, right? Now we'll come here and so what we are going to do here is that trying to okay, right. So this place, what we're going to do is very simple. Okay, let's get rid of this, or let's just comment on this. We'll come to this later. Or if possible, comment on this there if, right? Then inside here, we are going to pass in a template, right? So let's create another template that will be listing all our cohorts, right? Now remember, this template that we created is to list out our home page, right? That is showing us uh, welcome to my code listing application, right? That is what we did. Now the next thing that we're going to do here is to also perform the same. Then we'll go back to our templates. Inside this our template, you can decide to create another folder, then cohort. Or if you don't want to create a folder, you can do it inside the other one. So if you don't want to create a folder, you can do it inside here, inside home. They're all the same. So let's say cohort list.html, right? So I'll come here inside view, then this return, I'll get rid of it. Now, okay, let's comment on it, and then let's create another one. So we say return render passing what? Request, right? Then passing the folder of the application, which is home. Then put slash, then put in this, right? Now, this is what we did. So if you come to the view, the URL, close this, close this. Let's go to the URL. So this is the URL here. Then, so this, I just decided to add it, but however, let's leave it this way. But it's also important to add so that it will differentiate whatever you are doing. So if you just say cohort, you come here, add cohort, add slash. So what we're going to happen that when we call cohorts, then slash the cohort name, which is based on the name that we have here. You can see the name that we have here based on whatever the user is putting, right? So now we've created this, and let's try to access this particular page using the URL provided. So if we have slash this, so what are going to happen is that when you come here, it puts slash, then the name of the template of the URL, which is what? Cohorts, right? Copy it, and then when you come here, if you enter, it's not going to work because it requires a parameter for you to what? To access this, right? Let's say I come here and put cohorts 24 or 23. There's that code 23, we are getting the template. Nothing is showing here, right? Now, we're having, if you look at the title, it's just showing nothing, right? So now when we come here, we'll say, let me move this HTML. Then we'll run this. So, H1. So, welcome to cohort 23, right? Then come back there and then reload. You have welcome to what? 23. Now, we have a problem here. If somebody come and put code 24 here, you will see welcome to what? To code 24. That is a problem. How do we fix this issue? That is what you need to ask yourself. Then this now take us to um now take us to how to dynamically passing information in our templates. Are we communicating? How we can dynamically passing information in our cohorts. Any question? The guy, Mr.
I'm
Guy,
here.
yeah, you want to talk to me?
No, I'm not saying anything.
Okay, mute your mic, please. All right. Now, that's the problem. How do we pass in dynamic information to our template? Right. Now, to pass in dynamic information to our templates, when it comes here, to collect something from our view and then pass it to our template, right? How do we pass in information? This information here, this information that we have here, we want it to display on our template. Now, what we are going to do, it's very simple. When you come into the view, the templates, you scroll down to context processor, right? Now, the second content processor are functions that receive the current HTTP request as an argument and then return a dictionary of data to be added to what? To the rendering context, right? Now, their main uses is to add common data shared by all templates to a content without repeating the code. Okay, that context, that's what we are looking for. Now let's move down to context. I think we saw it earlier before now. Okay, now the context, right? So context is used as the template context for rendering information. Now we are going to use the context to render information on our HTML. So if we want to send in information from our HTML, right? So this is what we are going to do. We go to our view. Now, number one, the information we are getting here, we are getting cohort, right? We have a variable here called cohort. We also have context, right? Context text. So what we are going to do here, we come here, we pass in a dictionary. So put your comma here and pass in what? A dictionary. Then we call in the dictionary here. If you remember, a dictionary has what? Key and value what? And value pairs. So this is how we have done a dictionary. So we want to create a dictionary. I can say cohort, right? We have done dictionary, right? Cohort. So inside that code, we are going to have what? The key, right? So the key will be cohort. Then the value will also be what? Cohort. So this can be a variable, right? Why this can be a string? Are we communicating? Are we communicating, people?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So this can be a variable. This can be. We have done it before now. We have done this thing before. So what we are going to do is very simple. We pass in a word to get access to this data. So this data can be information from database. Are we together? It can be information from what? From user database. So we pass in this information. So what we are going to do that if we want to our Django to access the core text, right? So what we are going to do, we come here and pass in anything at all. This can be anything, right? Text or anything. There, put dot. The way you have enter it, the way you have uh, your Django dictionary, right? So you can pass it in there. Then you can put passing cohort uh, cohort text, right? So we're passing this cohort text. Now we're passing this to cohort text. What we are doing here is that all this information that has this cohort text, right? All the information that has this cohort text will automatically be added here. Please, I hope we are all together. If you don't understand, ask me question. I will explain more. So what we are doing here, context, we are passing a dictionary of all this information that is here, so that we can be able to have access to each of this information based on the conditions. Hello? Hello? Okay. So let's go back to our browser and check uh, our content. Then we reload. Now when we reload, still we are not getting anything. Now we need to call the context in our what's it called it, in our Django, right? Now this now take us to what I call Django template. So I'm going to explain what the Django template all about. Now let me quickly do that so that you understand. Now let's look at the Django template language, right? Now Django has a template language. Like you use Django syntax to be able to communicate whatever that you're passing in the view. Let's say you want to compare conditions. Remember, template is HTML, right? And let's say, for example, you want a user not to see a particular page in an HTML. Remember, view Python only controls the backend, right? Are we together? While Django controls the what? The front end, right? Django control what? The front end, because Django is the front end. Is the Django helps you to render work with HTML. So Django has its own language, logic language, not like Python. You can use to check if a user have this criteria, it will view the template, or else it will view this other template. So what happened here is that Django template enhance HTML5 to create a dynamic page, right? So it has a standard HTML template, then you have a special Django template language. So it works with a normal HTML, right? Yeah, normal HTML plus the Django template language together will now return a list of view for you. So basically, that is how it works. So now I want to dynamically render this information. Now look at this Django template. So we go to Django documentation. So we say Django template filter, right? Let's just use filter. Then we come to this place. So click on here. Let's go to Django template. So when we go to Django template, tags and filter. Now it say this document describe Django built-in template tag and filter. It is recommended that you use automatic documentation if it's available. Now we have a list of Django template and tags. Now the reason why I like Django documentation is because it's very easy, right? Now it said auto feed on. Control the current auto feed behavior. This tag take either on or off an argument that determine whether an auto escape is effect inside the block, right? So these are different kinds. So you need to just read around. So block is the block define a block that can be overridden over overriding by the child template, right? Which we are going to be looking at this. Django also have its own Django comments, right? The way we have HTML comment, Django Python comment, Django has its own what? Its own comment. So if you want to add Django comment, you use this. Now we have tag. These are what we are looking at now is Django tag. Now Django also have own if statement, else statement that can check if a particular thing is working, else do this, right? Django has its own different languages which we are going to be using as we are working. So don't be too anxious to learn this particular language, but as you are using it, we are learning it. So this extend, right? Extend template. So we will look about all this extend and learn more. So let's quickly look at Django filter. So um, let's go down. Django filter or variable. So um so let's let's come here and come down. Okay, these are all filter. So let's load. Okay, so here you can see we have a Django built-in filter. So the other one we have is uh, Django built-in tag, right? This Django built-in tag. Then we have Django built-in filter. So we are going to look at the filter. Then later we'll come to the tag. So let me scroll down. Another pass. I don't pass. I don't pass. Okay, good. Click on this filter. Now filter, Django filter. Are you getting me? Django filter work with Python variables, right? It work with what? A Python variable. So if you want to use a filter, you use this open, this curly bracket to, then you pass in the value. So this value will be variable, right? Let's say you want user to display whatever you want to display should be capital letter. You call the variable, then you click on it, you bring it this capital letter. So those are Django tags, right? Django filter. We are going to be looking at them. But however, what we want to do now is that we want to work with Django filter. And another thing you need to do if you want Django filter to automatically work. That means what I'm trying to say is that when it comes here now in Django view, remember we're passing text. So this text now is what we are going to use to get this particular information that is all that are available here. So then this takes me to Django, right? Is that where we are? Welcome to Django listing app. Okay, actually, okay, Django. Now when I come here, I type uh, this, right? Now you notice that when I type this, um, then I'll come here to call this particular text, right? So this particular text. So what I need to call on this text is this man, right? This variable. Remember, this man has connection to this man from here, right? So I call this text, then I come to my Django and paste. Now, when I paste this here, whenever you want to collect a variable from Django view to template, you need to pass it inside the word, the context, Django context. Without passing inside the Django context, there's no way your HTML can dynamically display this particular information, right? So what we need to do is to call this man text and then this. When you come back here to Django and then you reload what you have, you see we are returning what? We are having none. Are you getting me? We're having what? We're having none, right? So if you come here, let's come back here. Where is it? Um, Scroll up. Then we try to call cohort 20. It's returning none because that is this thing is not found, right? This cohort that we wrote is not found. So we come back there and then you put in cohort this. You look at what we are getting. Cohort 20, right? When you come back and put cohort that does not exist, it returns what? It returns none. Are you communicating? Are we communicating? Now, it's also recommend that if you notice that this information that I wrote here, it's a bit confusing. You don't know when you are having error and when you are not having error. So you are required to install a plugin in your VS Code that will help you use a Django tag. Now, when you come here now, if I want to work with Django now, when I come here, I click on this and I put Django. You see that I have Django what? Templates. This thing is not in your own VS Code until you install it. Now, when I put Django VS Code template, you notice that the template automatically change color, a different color. I can even call if. When I type in if, Django automatically give me all those Django tags that I'll show you earlier. Django automatically give me those tags, which we are going to look at this later. So what we are going to do is to come here and install what we call Django syntax. So look at it there, called Django. It's about 12 million people have downloaded this already, right? Developed by this guy. So look for it and make sure you install it in your Django. Please do that. If you don't do that, there's no way you can work with Django template. After you have done that, if you want to work with Django template, come here and switch it to Django template. If you want to work with HTML, switch it to what? To HTML. Are we communicating? Now, this is what I did. I come here and pass in this information, context, and then passing this information dynamically using what? Django dictionary to enable me have information to display it dynamically on my browser, right? So if I come here now, later I call this text, then I come here, what I'm going to see is this information. Now, I want when a situation where the user put a wrong information that is empty, instead of giving him none, I want them to display a different information. Let's say I want them to display what? A different what? Information. Let's say this place now. This place now. If I come here and I want this information now, if this thing is none, I want Django to display a different information for me. So that's what we are going to do. Work using Django tag. Now we'll move into Django tag to learn more about Django tag. So that's what we are going to do to learn more about Django tag. We together be my how come now? Why am I this one off now? Yeah. Oh, boy, hmm? They can't. No, my this thing off. I say they can't turn it. This money I dey expect turn over to. Okay, I'm so sorry. My this thing got disconnected. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
We can hear you.
My stuff got disconnected. So let me let me okay. So
I
what do
chief, you no gree wear clothes.
okay my come on boy. All right. So let me so where do we stop? Can you remind me where we stop?
Yeah, we are talking about the template. How we can make use of the context to display our template in the to display our content in the template, HTML template.
Oh, fantastic. That's fantastic. Mm. Okay, so where we go? Now, if you remember now, what happened here is that we've been able to get this information dynamically. So if I come here and type code 20, sorry, is none. If I type code 20, we are going to
You can see
get,
your screen, sir.
oh, sorry.
You can see your screen. Oh,
Yeah, I did that now, I forgot.
and also record.
Hmm? I'm
Please
recording.
record.
Yeah, of course I'm recording.
Thank you.
So every time I'm doing, I will do it basic, so that when we're done with basic, we can start building. So and, now if you notice, I was able to get this information, whatever that is here dynamically, right? Um, using the text and passing a context. So you call this dictionary, we call it context, right? So you need to render the context in your template. When you render it, your HTML can be able to communicate with this man directly. Now, I want a situation where if there is nothing here, eh? Are you getting me? If there is nothing here, it should display something else, right? Um, I want to use HTML Django to do this. Now, if you come to Django, I told you have Django built-in, what we call built-in tag and filter. So tags is different from filter. I want you to know that. So we have two tags and filter. So built-in Django tags. Then we have built-in Django tags reference. So we have the tags are more of uh, tags are used to carry out logic. Tags are more of logical operators. Are you together? Like if statement, else. So there is a lot of about tag, logical operation. So use it to compare things in Python, right? Now, why filter work with a variable, most especially work with variable. So if you want to do anything logic, right, in Python, in Django rather, you use the Django word tag, right? So if you come to the Django tag here, we are going to see that we have if statement, right? We have if empty, right? So when you click on that if empty, say for tag can take an argument empty, a class whose text is displayed if given an array is empty, right? So you can see what they use here. That you can only use that one inside for when you are running for. So you want to loop inside list and then bring it. If the list is empty, sorry, no article. Please come again. Now I want to use if statement, right? So I want to use if statement to check if something is empty, right? And if that thing is empty, if it's not empty, what I'm going to do is to um, make sure that it displays something else. So when it comes here, it said if, look at how they write that if, right? If attack evaluate a variable, evaluate a what? A variable, which is HTML variable, um, Python variable, and if the variable is true or exists or is not empty or is not boolean, it should do something, right? So they can look at what they did here. So what I actually want to do here is to check if whatever the user is putting here is empty, right? Whatever the user have here is empty, it should not display none, but should rather display some information. So to do this, I'll come here, then I'll call if. Now, later I call if, I have this if statement available. That's why I need to install Django template. Make sure you have it. Very important. So when I click on any of this, they are giving me if and else, right? If and else. So let me just start with if. Let me do it. So you call if, you have your if and else, right? But however, let me use it manually. So let me do manual so you know. So we have here these 2% here. So we want to call tag, you call curly bracket, add 2%, which is open and close. So if you want to call filter that work with variable, you call this curly bracket 2 times and close 2 times. So you have seen the difference. Now see if text, if not text. Okay, I can say if text, right? Let me say if that is something, right? If that is something, it should call this man. Then what I'm going to do here is that I will call end if, right? End what? End if, sorry, yeah, end. So inside here, I'll call end if. So this end if, what end if does is that it will terminate this if statement. So unlike Python, when you want to terminate if statement, you can go out of the indentation, right, and then write another thing. So this one does not work indentation. So if you want to terminate the if statement, you use end what? End if. The same thing for end for, right? Now inside here, we are going to go back and then reload. So reload something. When we reload, you can see when you don't have anything in, like when you put the wrong cohort information, code 450, it's not going to show you anything, right? Then because the condition is not true, because this condition is not true. So what is saying, the if text means that if something is here inside here, that whatever you put here, if it's found here, but in the case that is not, it will show empty. So we don't want it to show empty, but we want him to tell us some information that whatever you're finding or whatever you're looking for does not exist in our database. So what we're going to do is that we come here and say s. So uh, s. So this is our s. Then inside s, I can say h1, h1. So if you are using Python Django template, you need to change if you want to use HTML. So let me use HTML. So you can see the color have changed, that normal plain text. So I'll say I have h1. So inside h1, I say I will now call whatever the user is putting there. I will say cohort name enter is not found in our database. Please try again, right? So let's do that. Try again. Then I would like to change this to red color, red, right? So let's go back and try to use cohort that does not exist. So you see that cohort entered is not does not exist. Cohort entered is not found in our database. Please try what again, right? This is what the templates look like. So let's go back and change it to Django. All right, it is what it is. So you can see what we are doing here. It's a very simple process. We'll take it gradually. Before we start, by next week, we start building this particular app now. So when we start using those information, you will look at it in a way that will help us. So this is how you can be able to work with dynamic information. Now, what I want to do next is that if somebody enter here, I can also decide to work with this as an HTML. So here I can decide to come here and use H1, put it back to, so I want to work on this color now. I can come here and say H1, then inside H1 I paste this man there in between here. Then I come here and say style, color green, right? Green. So come back and enter the code 50, then go back and enter code 20. Now you work on 20, you see that this cohort, this is cohort 20 page. Now when we come to inspect, we notice that the page is just appearing like our normal HTML page, but it's dynamic. It is not static. Those information are what? Are dynamic. These information are dynamic information that are coming directly from our database. So this is how we can pass in those information. Then here we can, instead of saying welcome to the cohort 23, we can pass in the cohort name. So how do we do that? I will come back to our view here. Remember the name, this cohort name, call this cohort name, because that is what the user is typing, cohort name. So the cohort name is what this user is actually typing here, right? Cohort 20. So we come down, and then who can tell us how we can put this cohort 20 here dynamically? So who can tell us? The guy.
Yeah, you have to go to the HTML.
Okay,
Then you have to go to the HTML,
okay,
the template actually.
okay. Templates. Don't call it HTML, call
Yeah,
it templates. That I understand. All right.
all right. Now, where we are having welcome to cohort 23, you remove that cohort 23 and you open double curly brackets.
Like the filter, right?
Yes, curly, yes, double curly bracket. That's inside it, you have to put our text there.
Okay.
Text.
Who disagree with him? Who disagree with who knows? Before we go, who disagree with this logic? Guys, come on, make me proud. Hello, digital dreamers. Are we there? I will call names. So should I call names? Lawrence, Wachuku, Jeff, Sten, Victor Dominic, Chinedu, Mbachu. Nobody said anything. No. Are we together?
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
are
are.
together, sir.
So is that okay?
I think we should try to run this and see what the outcome is at first. So.
Now, the guy, remember what this man is bringing is this information. That's why you have this code test is this information. You understand? It's getting this key against this value. So I think it is wrong. It's returning the message instead of the cohort name. Hmm?
Okay, got that.
So let's think. So what do you think?
You can create that in the you can create that in the view then.
I'll
In
create what?
fact, view control everything. You
Sir?
can create the coordinate from the view. You have to split.
So how do we do that? Any idea?
Yes, now I think we can still do that in the template with the use of
Tell us.
Python.
Give us idea.
Um, we can split using a split method.
Sir?
We can use a split method or we create another view entirely to
No,
get
we're
the
not creating anything because remember where this man cohort name represent what the cohort is entering, right? So,
yes,
right? Right? You
yes,
there? So what we
yeah,
can do is to simply pass it in our context so that our template will have access to it.
okay,
So remember this name now represent the placeholder, which is this, right?
yes,
So what we're going to do is to pass in to down here. Now when so you can come here and pass in can say name or anything at all. Name, then we'll put this, pass in the uh, cohort name, which is whatever we're having here. So all we need to do is to go there. That place you say we should replace it here.
so
Then we
we
replace
replace
this
it with name,
text to name. Yeah.
okay,
So this will automatically fix that error that we're having. Are we together?
yes, sir,
So have you seen it now?
yeah, definitely,
So that is how we can get dynamic information in our database. That's how we can get dynamic information in our database. So let's move ahead. Let's expand this, right? We'll also look at how um, let's expand this application. Expand this application. So let's work with real stuff now. So we've taught Django template, right? We've already done that. So let's expand this application. All right, this is what we want to build. Before we move into that, this is what we want to build. We'll start with function-based view, and then we can move into other things. Because the more you get, more better is when you start building application. My God. So what I want us to do is I'm just still trying to wrap my brain with what we've learned to see how to do that. All right. We've worked with if statement, S statement. We work with more of things. Work with Django template and co. So I want us to learn how we can use the global templates, right? We learn how we can use the global what? Global templates. So if we want to use a global template, what we're going to do is uh, that means all our application will use one template. Are you getting me? All our application will use what? One template. So we can factor uh, our code. So we'll come back here and what we are going to do is very simple. Oh my God. It's very simple. So we are going to learn how to use static files, right? And also possibly how to connect our files to our HTML and CSS. So now when you come here, um, here we have the setting, goes to our setting, and then inside this setting to connect a static file. Oh my God, guys, I need to use the toilet. I swear, please give me like 10 minutes. Yeah. So the guy, the president, presido,
sir,
presido, the guy,
Yes,
please,
sir. I'm here, sir.
please, presido. I beg, I need to use the toilet. Very urgent. I beg, I'm begging you guys. Let me go use the toilet now.
All right, sir.
Take over from here. Let me use the toilet, please. You can give the can be at the review of what you have done now. Can ask questions with respect to that. Let me give one of the same screen self. Maybe in respect to that. Thank you very much. Shall I go do? Mm, 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 Okay, thank you for your patience. Let's fire down. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. So, Mr. President, where do we stop? Where do we stop? Hello, hello, the guy. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you.
So where do we stop? What next? What are we doing next?
You said you want to be the real app. So I think you want to show us how to actually work with real data and HTML.
Okay. So all right. Let's see how we can connect the global template. Like I told you earlier, there are two. One is the uh, the the app, the one you can connect with your app, and then the one you can connect with global. So let's say I'm working with multiple applications. It's not um let's say it's not okay. No one tomorrow, tomorrow, no, no, tomorrow. All right. So when you are working with the Django application and you are having multiple app, and it's not necessary to create each template, each of the application having each template. No, no, no. I think it's very taxful and hard for you to be able to manage. So it's also I encourage you when you are doing that, use just one template and then build folders. So let's say I can use global template. So let's say I can use global template, which is so in the global template, we come here and inside here let's say we created a template here. So let me come here and then inside here their root directory. So these are root directory. This is the folder. Then inside the not inside here. No, our root directory is where you have other apps. So the reason why you are doing it here, because this is the parent directory of the app. So this app can use the same template. This one can use the same template. If you have 100 app here, all the 100 app will use the same template. So I'll just come here to create an app template. I can say temp. I can give it anything at all, right? I can say HTML, right? Files. Now inside this HTML file, um, so I can decide to come here have index index.html, right? Or you can call it template or anything at all you want. So when it comes to the setting inside here, you are going to call um, you are going to call this part. So you are getting it from this part. So if you scroll up, I told you earlier that this part is used to get anything from the parent folder, right? Using they created a variable, assign the base. So let me call that base. Inside here, I'll call the base, then comma, call the template. Call the HTML files. So the HTML files. I hope you can understand what I did and why I did that.
Yes, that is the name of the folder.
Yes, the name of the folder rather. The name of the folder. Excuse me. So what we are going to do, right? I think to add the global template, right? That means Django will look for a template inside here, inside this plate. So what I'm going to do is that let me remove this. This will not work. So what I will do is very simple. So here I can come in here and look for so and look for a particular import. So it's not working. So let me just import something here. Import OS, right? Import OS. So when I come here, I will say os dot path dot join. Then I'm joining because dot join. So you are joining the paths together in case there are multiple files inside here. So you join them together. So here you go now call the system path then slash the name of the file HTML files, right? So this let's use this approach. If you use this approach, you can use or they have other approach too. So this actually we use to add a global directory. So Django will look for template inside here, right? Instead of on the app, right? So let me go to the app here and all these things that we've done. I need to remove it so that Django will not be looking for it there. Inside here, I'll copy all this information. I'll copy just this one. Copy this one inside the room. Then I will have to put it inside this template file. Review. Open the template file and then paste this here. Then go and remove the template there so that it will not conflict. Go and remove the template. Where is it here? So I'll just delete this off, take it off. All right, so Django will now look for templates inside this place. So excuse me. So this man will serve as my template now. So you don't need to do any more thing on your view. So everything will stay the way it works. The home directory is there. So we'll come back to and try to reload. Now when you reload this, let's check if our okay, we have an error here. So let's run this again. All right, so let's come back here and enter. So we're having template does not exist. Template does not exist. Home/cohort. So we need to go back to that template and try to check this. Let's see where we're having error. It's the same, but however, to be on a safer side,
On the path, I think you're adding home to it, and on the global, there is no home folder.
no, the path is this man. This man is the path, this name. Okay, let's try to change this to templates. Templates, right? Maybe that is let's try to change this template. Then we'll come here and change this to template. All right. So let's check that out again. So let it load. We are having the same template does not exist. So let's quickly check where the error is coming from. All right, let's check this out. os.join base underscore. All right, all right. Os blah 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 templates. So let's go come inside this template. Okay, it's a mistake. We are doing it outside here. It should be inside here. Are you getting me? Inside the app, not outside here. This will not work. So let's explore this and then move this. Then move this inside here, inside the primary directory. So yeah, inside here now. So this will work. So don't do it outside it. You're doing outside because that's the major reason why we're having this issue. Template does not exist. Templates in the content does not exist. Cohort. All right. Then let's check this out. Templates, home, cohort. All right. This should work. Template. Yeah. So let's reload this. Let's go back and see. All right. This is working. Right. So let's try out something. I usually like trying out some stuff. If you change this from template to another name, let's say files, right? Then let's come here and replace this to files, template. So I will not just keep doing one thing at a time. Okay, that still work. All right. So work with the file, it still work. So you can leave it file, you can leave it template. So this is where we have our HTML. So this is how you can do global, right? And sometimes also I will suggest like let's get rid of this code and try to use a different pattern of code. Let's see if it work. So let's have this, then comma, then have your files, and let's see if it's going to work. Let's check it out. Okay, this now crash. All right, let's try to run this. So we are trying to look at different way you can do it, if it's going to work. If it work well, if it didn't work, use the previous approach. So this approach still work. So you can decide to use this approach or use the other approach, but this approach, however, is still work. So let's stick with this approach. All right, so that's how you can use a global template. So all your template or for all the app will now have this template, right? This particular template here. So that is templates. And so let's see how we can work with static file, right? Static file. Now let me say I want working with this man here, and let's say uh I I want to add the part working with a different HTML template, right? I'm working with HTML. So I'm working with HTML now. How do I add a static file, right? So to do that, what we are going to do is that, let's say I have a JavaScript and I have a CSS information. So in Python, in Django, your CSS, right? Your CSS will not be the same. Will not be the same in your with your static file. So to add static file, to add CSS here, let's have CSS that I've created, right? And let's say this particular CSS. Come here. Let me use an inline CSS now. Then we'll see how we can change it later. So if I'm using an inline CSS, I come here, type this. Let me change it to HTML. HTML. Then here I have style. Then here is body. Then the background. Just blue. All right. So this is my background now, and I want to write a CSS for this, right? Let's say this might have CSS. So how do I link the CSS? So to do that, we can go to Django documentation, and then we can say static files, right, in Django. Now when you click on static files, you see how to manage your static files. Then the W3 screen is also giving you documentation, but every documentation they are using it from where? From here. So if you come here, they said website generally need to serve additional files such as image. So static file will be like image, JavaScript, CSS, Django, right? So how connect it with our template. So your template does not contain your static file, which is when I mean static file, I mean your image, JavaScript, HTML, or any script at all, right? They will not be in the same folder. They're going to be in different folder due to security reason, right? So yeah, to configure static file, make sure that Django contrib.file is included in your install file. So you make sure that django.contrib.file is included in your install file. Of course, it's there on default. So let's confirm if it's on our installed file. So you go down and see that we have this django.contrib is already in our install file. So the next one in your settings file, define static directory. For example, static underscore URL. So what you mean that static underscore URL mean it, what it's talking about is that Django is going to find our static file in a folder called static. Look at it there, static. So we are going to create this folder. So when we create this folder, Django would look for our file inside the static, directly inside the static. So we want to create the folder here there. So inside this particular code folder, then create a folder called static, or you can say static files, right? Static files or static. It all depends on what you need. So inside this static now is where we have all our CSS, our JavaScript, and our image, right? So the next thing, let's look at the next thing we're going to do. Then in your template, use static template to load the file for a given relative, right? Okay, if we want to, in your template, use the static file tag to load the URL for a given static. So if you want to load the like a path to your static, you need to come here and call the load static. Then the next thing is store your static file in a folder called static. Are you seeing it here? So you need to store your file, your JavaScript file, inside the folder called what? Static, which we already created. Then they said your project would be probably also have your project would probably also have static assets that isn't tied to a particular app, right? In addition, to use static directory inside your app, you can define a list of directories. Now, let's say you want to use a particular directory for your app. So what you are going to do is that you need to create all the list of directories. So to do that, you need to use what we call static directories, right? Static directories. If you don't want to use Django static file, come here, put static directories equals to, then equals to, you put the list because they are list. Now this equals to, now I want Django to collect my directory particularly from this static. So I will just come here and call the base the same way we did here, the base, then comma, then call the name of that static, right? So what we have here is static. So you come here and passing static, right? So you come here to pass in what static. So what it means that the Django will look for static file inside this particular folder. So what I'm going to do next, when I come here, I will create a folder called CSS. So inside this CSS, I will create a file called style.css. So inside this style.css, what I can do is come here inside this, then copy all this from my body, cut it off, and then move to this CSS and put it inside this my CSS. Now it's not going to work, right? If you come here, let's load this. So it's not going to work. Even though you come here and reload, this will not work. Now remember what they told us to do, that what we are going to do is, when it comes to this static, after we've done this one, the actual way of doing it, you scroll down here, you want to call the load, right? Load static. When you load static, you then put the path to where to get that static from. So quickly move here. So we come to this code list at the top here, at the top here. Make sure that remove this. Make sure that top. So inside here, put your Django in the Django tag, then call load static. So when you click on load, it will give you this load statics, right? Now if you click on this load statics, you come to the header here, link your CSS, put it back to HTML, then call, what you are going to do next is call the word the statics. So when you call statics, click on here. Now they are calling static there. This is the path to where to get your static information, right? So the path. So what we are going to do here inside here is where we'll call the path. So when you call this load static and it calls static, it's going to look for any folder called static, which is this folder. So inside this folder called statics, let me put Django. So you can have Django. Inside this folder called static, right? We have CSS. So come here and type CSS. Inside that CSS, we have a file called style.css, right? Style.css. So this is it. Copy it. Then let's link it. Let's link the way we are linking our HTML. So call link, then CSS. So inside this place, press this here. Let's move this to Django again to confirm that we're not having any error. So yes, move it to Django, load statics, then call on this and call on this. All right, let's quickly go back and check and see if our file is going to work. All right, let's load that. You can see our file works, right? It works. So this is how you can connect your CSS with your Django static. If you come here and remove this man now, you can come here and see that we have an error, right? Do you mean static? So you need to put that static for it to work, right? You need to use that static. You need to import it, those static, then so that this static can also, the static we have here can also work. So are we together? Are we together, guys?
Yes, sir. We are with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fantastic. So this is how you can load your static and be able to use a CSS. You notice now, you notice that you will see that our static is different from our files, right? We have our files here, we have our static here. So this is our static. So this is how you can load your statics and load your statics and it works perfectly for you. So you can see that we have a CSS now. And the same thing is the way you load image. So even though you want to load image, also the same thing, but you need to follow the paths, the path that we have here. So basically that is all for today. So in the next class, we are supposed to continue to build a particular application, go to design a particular application. So as you guys done with the design, Mr. President, as you guys done with
Yes. Yes, sir. No, sir.
this design,
The database design. No, sir.
what is the problem?
What's the problem? We will get it done. Don't worry, sir.
Please, we need that as
Please, we
soon as
need that as
possible
soon as
because we need
possible
to start.
because we want to start.
So I'm really thinking,
I'm thinking,
uh, let uh,
uh, let uh,
add, okay, say let
add, okay, say let
okay. So what we are going
it's
to do
okay.
is that
So what you are going to do is that
uh, let me check what we have not covered yet, so that um I want to check what you have not covered to see how we can.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Please, where you remove this CSS, the previous CSS, did you cut it or copy? Did you do copy or cut? Because it's like you did copy
I cut it.
and
I cut
it's still there. Okay, cut it. Okay.
it to that place. It's not here.
Okay.
Okay, so far we've been able to cover introduction to Django, get started with Django, virtual creating virtual environment. We install Django. We've created project with Django. We talk about view. We talk about URL. Talk about template, right? We will not talk about model. So we talk about templates. So I think with this little that we've learned, uh, with this little that want us to come up with a project, a very simple project, a good project that we can simply build, and then we can use that to understand Django model, and so this is a project I want us to build. I'm not going to give you guys assignment now because okay, all right, all right. Mr. President, they have assignment. Mr. President,
Mr. President. Yes, sir.
okay. We are this
Okay.
assignment.
We are this assignment.
Um,
Uh,
we'll start
we'll
the
start the
uh, trying to see.
trying to see.
Okay, this is it.
Okay, this is it.
Everybody
Everybody has to deploy this
step.
at
This
GitHub.
assignment
This
will be deployed,
assignment will be deployed at GitHub.
submit on the portal. We have to follow it up. So during the presentation, we'll use the link that they provided in GitHub and see how we can work on that. This is it. They are to uh, the project that we've built, their solo project there. They are to convert it to Django project. So instead of loading it in HTML, they should put the project in Django, load it, set up the static file, set up the template, right? Load it, then submit it on GitHub. Now, the app should have listen, the app should have sub pages, not just one page. So if you have one page, that means you need to create extra page. So when I come to About Us and click on About Us, it will take me to About Us. When I click on registration, it will take me to registration. Are you getting me? So you are to you are going to create a view, class-based view and function-based view. So the class-based view should have the home. Are you getting me? The home of the application. Listen, Fraser, are you there? Are you there?
I'm
Good.
I'm with you, sir. I'm with you. I'm following. I'm typing.
Should have the view of the page of that application. Let's say there should be an index. So when you go, when you log into your Django application, we are going to see it as it's going to give us as the home page. So when you type the IP address, then you are going to create four Django view. One on that view, one function you are going to create is home that display the home. The second is about us that display about us when you click on it. The one is how it works or any other page. Then the last one is contact us. Now this contact us information, information they are going to do when they come to contact us page and fill all those information, they submit it, it will goes to your database. Now you are going to use
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Please come again. You said the cloud-based view. We're going to have some types of the cloud-based view,
the
and then that cloud-based view is what will contain that home about us, contact us, home about us, and any other page including contact us.
class get home and about us only. Why the function based will have contact us, number one. Then so when you go to the
Sorry, sir. Please come again. The other view is the
page, we have contact will have because will be there. I fill that form, put my name, put my comment, email address, and I click on immediately I click on it will submit on the Django database. So you are going to use my SQL to work with it. Okay. So when you submit it, it goes to your database. You understand? Then you show us, you redirect it to a page. Your message have received successfully. I will get back to you in 4 hours. Click on go back. When you click on go back, it takes you to the home page. What services will give the services of what the particular system you are offering. So they are to build a Django model that will contain all those information. It will serve it in the database. That is it. And then when you submit, they'll send you an email with the email you provided. Like you provide their username. We have received. Get back to you on the email. The defense for this project is next week Thursday after our class on Wednesday. So start our defense. The president, you need the qualification.